There's a few of them in this film.
Welcome to your doom. Shut it and get over here. Massive uppercut!
Hello and welcome to another edition of the JabJab Show. Today I'm reviewing David Brent Life on the Road, the film. So the film starts off several years after the events of The Office, following David Brent around. He's now a travelling salesman for Lavichem, is selling toiletries and tampons and what have you to, businesses and what have you. He's also a manager, so to speak, and lead singer of his band Foregone Conclusion, now Mark II. And he's planning a big tour with them, a few gigs and what have you, and there's a documentary crew following him around as he does so. So I love The Office. I love it. It's very fun in everything. I've got DVDs and everything. I'm going backwards here. So anyway, I've got 3 DVDs like The Office. Okay, and this is a very similar style of humour to this. And David Brent himself hasn't changed that much. He still says all these things and does things. There's a lot of nervous laughter, like that kind of thing going on, which since it didn't bother me so much, but I know a few people have felt, he overused it a little bit more, perhaps. But I don't think this film has the high quality of humour as in The Office. I think mainly down to the characters around David. Obviously different from The Office. I mean, Ricky Gervais has gone on record saying it wouldn't make much sense for the characters in The Office to be in this film so many years later. All the rest of it. So, but with this, they either can't stand him, can't tolerate him, and there's about 3 characters who think he's okay and stuff. There's 2 in particular. But none of his bandmates like him. There's times when he goes to gigs on his own, in his own car, and they've got a tour bus, and he has his own room, as opposed to all the others who are in one room together. Things like that. So, I think it's because I felt like The Office, there's so many characters in The Office. Obviously, they have more screen time in order to establish who these characters are, their relationships with David Brent and so on. So when you consider, I don't know how long this film is, 90, 100 minutes or something. When you consider that, you got to condense there's a lot more shorthand in the relationships, and I think perhaps they're too black and white in this film as opposed to in The Office, where I felt there's different tolerance levels towards David with the characters and so on. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but the songs were okay, don't get me wrong, but they're not up there with Spinal Tap or anything. Maybe that's a conscious decision. Like David Brent is unaware of his kind of his way of, he's over explaining of the songs before when he's on stage and whatever, and all this. He's unaware or kind of unpolitically correct when he wants to be politically correct kind of thing. He wants to make a statement, but it comes across as obviously very false and stuff. No, obviously there's humour there, but I didn't think they were that good. So it establishes early on that David is bankrolling this tour with his pension and other things. He's spending way too much money on certain things in order to be liked. He pays people to have drinks with him one night. Just things like that. There's a lot of pathos with his character in these. Like, there's also a confessional piece of cameras where he's talking about certain events that are taking place. Between the events of The Office and this film, which has a lot of a lot more depth to the character, I guess. Also, what also bugging me in this film is the inconsistencies within the shooting style. I'll say it's supposed to be a documentary crew following David around as he's in Lavichem, however you say it, and he's also when he's with a band and going on gigs and so on. There's lots of moments in the film, like it starts off with aerial shots of David driving, Life on the Road. The song comes on, and there's little shots here and there which don't ring true to the whole documentary style of things. For me, anyway, it's like for a lot of people, a lot of the appeal of The Office was, because it's like a fly on the wall documentary, just observing office life and what have you. It's all shot that way and what have you. There's certain bits in the thing where I think it's Tim who goes into the room with Dawn to talk about certain things. He even takes the clip mic off. You hear it. Things like that. There's none of this. It probably doesn't need to, but it kind of like there's nothing that really emphasizes the point of this is a documentary crew. Following him around. It is and it isn't. It should be one or the other, not kind of both of them. Considering it's supposed to be a documentary crew. I mean, I understand Ricky, as he's directing, probably wanted it more of a cinematic thing. Obviously, being shown in the cinema and whatever, it has to have these other shots, but it kind of shatters the illusion, if you will, of the documentary that it's supposed to be. But my worst criticism of the film, getting away from this whole technical side of things, is the relationship between David and his bandmates. The foregone conclusion, Mark II. It shows them not liking him that much. They think he's a bit of an idiot, and how he says things, how he does things, all the rest of it. And there's a turning point fairly near the end where one of the band members kind of has a little warms to him a little bit, and to be honest, it didn't really ring true because the band member that does this is the one I felt disliked the most. I didn't see that coming. It didn't feel organic. It didn't ring true to how he did it, and it carries on in this vein. And it's from then when I kind of thought, no, this don't feel right, because I'm not sure if Ricky Gervais is thinking, yeah, this is the last time we'll see David Brent, so I want to make him go out on a high, like his own Hollywood ending kind of thing. But it didn't feel like how he did it. I don't know if there's loads of deleted scenes, extra half hour or so, whatever, where there's they gradually come to accept his way of doing certain things. There was none of that. We just judge it by what we've got on the screen. It's just like the ending of The Office, because the specials when you got Dawn coming back to the Christmas do, the whole will they won't they with Tim is resolved, and there's also David finally gets with a woman who's after so many failed dates, all comes together. Right, neat, nicely, kind of at the end of it, which is kind of heartwarming because it's Christmas and all that. But but the ending of this film, it just feels a little too kind of forced, if you know what I'm saying. So all in all, I was a little disappointed with it. It was okay in some bits. It was funny. Like I say, some of the confessional piece of cameras and stuff are probably the strongest bits. It just felt a little kind of. It felt too much like it, and I think it should be the last time we see David Brent. It should be his swan song. That's the way it was kind of written and played out, I think. So them's my opinions. What's yours? Let me know down below. Not pointing out a rude bit. I'm talking about the comment section. So like, subscribe, all the rest of it, and tell your friends and everything. And in the words of the new Cyrus, send the word.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,